What's up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another interesting video. Of course, Forb News again, and this time it's with one of the IRS commissioners. Um, and this is about the Mr. Taibbi incident where he had, well, at least allegedly, had an armed IRS agent show up to his house after the fact that certain members of the Democratic Party became aware of him getting ready to testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee, which is funny, right? Which is just more proof that the Democrats are literally arming and basically attacking anyone and everyone who has a diverse of opinion and or is on a whole different political spectrum, such as, oh, if you are conservative or maybe right leaning or anything like that, and or maybe just not on their side. You know what I mean? FBI, ATF, IRS. It's literally kind of funny that they want to fund all of those ones but defund state police. But we'll get into this. It's kind of funny because the guy who's testifying during the video, you literally will see this guy like shaking. He is shaking while he's answering this lady's questions.
You had an extensive dialogue with my colleague, Mr. Stubbe, on the situation with Matt Taibbi and a lot of the eyebrows that raised, that all of a sudden here he is testifying on a sensitive issue dealing with the administration, and suddenly he has an IRS agent at his door.
Yeah.
And
that kind of seems like, they're trying to coerce somebody to not give information, right?
One of those is that Chairman Jim Jordan actually asked you about providing some of the requested documents to Chairman Jordan. Did you in fact provide?
This is funny. Watch this.
That were requested by Jim Jordan.
His face.
I'm not sure.
Did you see the way what his face did? That's a common sign of like, oh shit, how do I word this without getting myself in trouble with my bosses, such as Biden and all of them. And then at the same time, how do I not implicate myself in something because I know what's been going on? You know what I mean?
Can answer that question in this setting.
Well, let me ask you. This is a document request.
He's happy to answer the question, but he's not answering the question.
Be able to answer that question.
Wasting time on purpose.
Congresswoman, it's my understanding that if I answered that question, it's a violation of 6103. If I'm wrong,
that's a lie.
I will make a correction.
Well, let me ask this: is that document request going to be granted?
Probably not.
It's been done or not,
or it'll probably be done too late.
Absolute commitment to comply with all document requests from this committee, from Congressman Jordan's committee. Like, I welcome the oversight. I really do. I think it's important to be able to answer tough questions. That's how we build trust. And Congressman Tenney, you said
that's how we build trust. Okay, sir. So then please answer on why you want 80,000+ new IRS agents to be trained and armed to be going into people's homes. That makes no sense.
There's this power dynamic. And one of the ways we can reduce that power dynamic is making sure that we're complying with oversight entity requests, and that is my commitment.
Right, and I appreciate you're sensitive to that issue as well, but let me ask you this, and was the IRS agent that showed up at Mr. Taibbi's door armed?
This is funny, watch this.
Again,
as soon as she as soon as she asks this question, watch how he responds and just watch his body.
Answer, because it involves an individual.
Well, let me ask you on the technical
He's literally
side
shaking.
That, since we'll get into procedure, let's take Mr. Taibbi out of that. Assuming, what is the standard for somebody that has an IRS agent show up at their door? What is the standard for showing up armed? I mean, obviously we know that we have a drug dealer that's not, for example, paying their taxes, but if we have a
see, that makes sense.
Probably isn't making a whole lot of money. I mean,
but let's be honest. Are the IRS agents going to drug dealers' homes, pimps' homes? Are they going to those locations or those areas? No, because you can guarantee they would probably not leave those areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just concerns me that standard is something that really we should look into as the IRS. I mean, it's not every day that an IRS agent shows up at your door with with weapons. So I think that should be more rare than the rule. So let me just go back, and I want to get to another substantive question. I just wanted to talk to you, if we could, a little bit about applying the R&D credit, or the R&E credit as it's known under 22 or 26 U.S. Code Section 41. There's been a lot of inconsistencies expressed to me in my district through my tours, through businesses, and really having a legacy of a lot of small business, a lot of innovation, a lot of technology. There's been a lot of confusion about inconsistency in enforcing that R&D rule, and and a lack of clarity, and there was a question raised in last term about getting some guidance on that, and I just want to say it was not provided, and I just want to, for the record, Mr. Chairman, I want to actually put into the record two general guidance documents, one on architects and whether they qualify, and one on engineers and whether they qualify, that we obtained on the IRS's view of that. So I want to, for the record, if the chairman would accept these.
So ordered.
Thank you. I just want to also, so where are we going with this R&D credit? I mean, we're in a situation, we have the IRA passed, we have all these tax credits we want to see innovation, we want to see our supply chains come back, we want to get ourselves.
So she's definitely right. We want all that stuff because that means there's more money for Americans here. There's going to be more businesses, more jobs for Americans here. But that's just it. That's not what the IRS, this current IRS, wants, because what they want to do is tax and take everything they can from anyone who's going to be a small business owner, so that way it makes it easier for other people from other countries like China to come in, buy land, buy shops, do whatever they're going to do, and weasel their way in, and then start slowly making America more and more like China. Because China will play the long run. They will. They will play the long game. They've done it before, and they will do it again. They've been doing it. And that's exactly why what's going on is why it's happening. That's why the IRS is literally trying to fear factor people out of businesses, out of everything, because it's easier for people to live in fear. It's easier for them to actually go after those ones than actually go after the people that they should be, such as the ones not paying their taxes. Like gang members, drug dealers, shit like that.
In a better situation against some of our competitors and adversaries like China on innovation.
China.
Shouldn't we really look into this R&D credit and make it consistent and fair for taxpayers? Because that's really all many taxpayers ask. There are many people are willing to pay their taxes. They just want consistency, fairness, neutrality in their IRS regulations, so that we can have a fair playing field, especially for our innovators in our communities. Would you agree with that assessment?
I agree, and as you were talking earlier,
shaking some more
about the power dynamic.
Is it cold in there? Because he's shaky.
Carry around the Constitution of the United States, and I certainly respect them doing that. I carry around the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, and I make sure that I'm reminded of what my responsibility is as the IRS commissioner to make sure that we're protecting those rights. And
he is shaking bad.
Like a right to know what
like he is shaking so bad.
And so you're
if I could just, I know I don't have any time left, but I have worked a lot with a lot of tax preparers. And we have to come up with the laws to make it easier for you and for us to collect the taxes that are properly due, and also to give rights to our citizens. And I have a longtime tax preparer. I was one of my mentors who said, here's how we should look at our tax preparation: simplicity, transparency, stability, and neutrality. That's how we make tax law. And I think that's something that the IRS and you as the new commissioner would be grateful if you could look up and make that kind of policy based on those rules of the road, which are so simple and really what we're all looking for fairness. So
was the IRS agent that showed up
thank you so much
to Mr. Taibbi's door armed. Check that video out, guys. But that's it for the video. That IRS commissioner could not stop shaking at the end of that. As soon as she mentioned China as a competitor, he started shaking, because he knows that is more than likely what the IRS is doing, which is taxing small business owners out of their business to make it easier for immigrants who are migrating here from China to own businesses, to start taking more businesses, small businesses, away from Americans. So there will be less Americans making money in their own country, and more of that money going over to China, which then makes China stronger and stronger and stronger, which is why we need to stop this. Now, I have no problem with people coming over here, migrating legally, and owning businesses, because honestly, that is what one of the American dreams is being able to come here and start a business, have your life, and live your life. And if that's your goal, I'm all for it. But if you come here and you live here, you are now American. You're not Chinese. You're not African. You're not Brazilian. You're not South American. You're not Mexican. You're nothing. You're an American. And if that's not how you want to see it, then you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing if you migrate to Russia, China, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico. It does not matter. If that's where you're going to go live, you got to think by the dynamic on how the people think there or why you there. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's it for the video. Um, Make sure you pay your taxes, or you're gonna more than likely have an IRS agent show up to your home armed, or they might have more than one of them show up to your home. But if they do that, don't let them in. I would say instantly call the police. Instantly call the police. Do not let them in your home. You know what I mean? Even if they show an IRS badge, whatever else, call the police and start recording, turn on your ring camera, whatever you need to do, because you cannot trust anything that goes on right now. So, hopefully this all helps y'all. Hopefully everyone has a great day, great night, great evening. Catch me for the next one. Later.